Hi everyone, I'm Mary Chan. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a pesto from scratch. For those of you who are familiar with my cooking, you probably know that I'm really big on dressings and sauces because you can throw them on any kinds of grains and noodles and they just make everything more delicious. Now, a classic pesto usually contains three main ingredients: fresh basil leaves, pine nuts, and Parmesan cheese. But today I'm going to make some modifications and change things up a bit for different reasons. First of all, I'm going to bump up the nutrient value of this pesto by sneaking in some kale. Why? Because, who eats enough vegetables, right? My theory is, even if you think you eat vegetables, try doubling up that amount by putting them in everything. In your soups, in your smoothies, in your stir fries, and in your pesto. Why not? And for those of you who are not so keen on the taste of kale, this is a really good place to start. So I have here about a cup of fresh basil leaves and a cup of fresh kale leaves. This is lacinato or dinosaur kale, but any kind of kale will do. Another modification is, instead of using all pine nuts, I'm using half pine nuts and half pistachios. Why? Because pine nuts are just not good for my wallet. They are too expensive. And I also happen to come across a recipe that uses mint and pistachio as the base of the pesto, and it's phenomenal. So I have here about a quarter cup of pine nuts, and a quarter cup of shelled pistachios, all ready to go. Finally, instead of using Parmesan cheese, I'm making a dairy-free vegan version by using something called nutritional yeast. What is that? You see these yellow powdery flakes here? These are not the typical brewer's yeast you would use in bread making or beer making. It's a special kind of yeast that is cultured on food items such as beet molasses. It is harvested, heated up, and dried and crumbled up into flakes like that. It's a significant source of B vitamins, especially when it's fortified with B12. If you're wondering what it tastes like, it's kind of cheesy and nutty. That's why vegans typically use that to substitute for cheese. You can sprinkle it on popcorn, make vegan mac and cheese out of it, and I use it for baked tofu. It's super delicious. So let's get started. So first of all, I have half a cup of pine nuts and half a cup of pistachios. Throw them in the food processor and just pulse it for a little bit. Okay. Then I add in the basil leaves and the kale leaves. This is about a cup of basil leaves and a cup of kale. And again, just pulse it for a bit. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. Now I have 2 cloves of garlic here. Dump that in. And this is about half a cup of olive oil. Throw that in. The juice of half a lemon. And now this is what's going to make it taste more like a pesto. That's the nutritional yeast. And that's 2 teaspoons. salt and pepper. And that's something you can always add more to season when this is done. Okay. Okay, now. And this is ready. Beautiful. See that? Great. This pesto is rather thick. If you don't like the consistency of that, just feel free to add more olive oil or even water to thin it out. It is really so easy to make and super, super delicious. After you've done it a couple times, it's really hard to go back to buying the ready-made ones from the store. I have a bowl of quinoa here I made yesterday. So what I'm going to do now is to toss in some of this pesto, cut up an avocado, boil an egg, and make a really simple lunch for myself. Thank you for watching this video. Go to my website, marychanwellness.com, to get more recipes on dressings and ideas on how to add more green vegetables to your diet. See you next time. Bye.